and I take this early opportunity to welcome you all. We say karibuni sana to Nairobi. For the next 3 days, it's bringing together pastoralist leaders and civil society organizations that support the work around pastoralism. And the main agenda during the next 3 days will be to really strengthen our voices as indigenous pastoralist communities in Africa ahead of the International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralism.
So today, we are coming to prepare our journey to Mongolia. And we hope that we bring key messages on key issues that are affecting us about investment, about loss of land, but also celebrate good some few gains here and there. So we are here to learn from one another, to strengthen our voice, to strengthen our resolve, and our same determination. That's the reason why we are here.
Our life is surrounded by cows, camels, and sheep. This is our bigger win we can have as Africans. This life and livelihood is represent a major life for our communities.
It is also a great milestone to see for the first time ever the UN to actually recognize and dedicate a whole year to matters, rangelands, and pastoralism. We have the national policy on ethnic minorities, indigenous, and marginalized communities of 2025 to 2035, and the roadmap to a fully fledged legislation on the same. The density of wildlife, when you compare the protected areas and the indigenous lands hold the highest density of wildlife, both flora and fauna, compared to the protected areas. That speaks volumes to how much a value a custodian, a pastoralist person is in terms of protecting our natural heritage.
We are here today to celebrate the African Indigenous Pastoralists gathering, but exactly today the Northeast and North Africa and Near East gathering is also taking place in Tunisia currently as we speak. This month we celebrated the diversity of pastoralists and the rangelands. But in February, we're really talking about mobility, and if you talk about pastoralism in Africa, it's all about mobility, but also securing in the water and the land rights that are so critical for pastoralists to survive. And every month you will take different issues of climate change, biodiversity, sustainable use, the infrastructure needed, the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that pastoralists have, pastoralist women, pastoralist youth. So these will all be celebrated during the different months.
In the last year at the COP16 in Sahel, we have, for the first time, the Indigenous Peoples Caucus, and we have so many Indigenous pastoralists there. And you have the second, the pastoralist decision for the first time there. So those two, we have to make them operationalized in Mongolia. And this is the aim we are having. And we wanted to have your support, all of you here.
Pastoralists are not asking special status. Pastoralists are not asking for special ones. Pastoralists are not asking for privileges. They're just asking to enjoy rights over land the very same way that any other Africans enjoy rights over land based on customary use.
Face à ces risques climatiques et de dégradation des sols, quelle forme de réponse et d'investissement les éleveurs mettent-ils en œuvre face à cet impact, c'est-à-dire les propres solutions venant des éleveurs eux-mêmes?
With this year of rangelands and pastoralism, we have an opportunity to really bring issues on the table, enhancing the capacity and making sure that our all pastoralists from the ground, that includes women and youth, is a collective way of working together.
We women live on animals
And when there's growth and the climate change issues, we start moving with the animals together. That's the life affecting men.
And once we are united, our voice is being heard, and nothing can depart us from each other. And the stronger we are as pastoral communities and gatherers, we will also move to another state together.
Without a woman's involvement or without a woman's voice, especially when it comes to herding and looking after the animals, though some of them, a few, can go and herd animals in the bushes. But theirs is to wait. When these animals come, this is the time she has to check whether one of her animals is lost or they are all there. And if one is lost, she's the better one to raise the issue. And now in Uganda, the women are now participating in decision making, especially when animals are supposed to move to a particular area.
Kenya remains committed to working with African states, pastoralist-led institutions, civil society, and development partners to advance a coherent and united African pastoral voice.
The 3 days of talking, discussing our common problems was not quite easy. We had an intense talks, seriously talks, but we come up with common problems facing all of us, and we have found that our problems are absolutely the same all over. So, because we have come together, we have known each other, we have understood our cultural differences, and we have done a very wonderful job that is enabling us to have a trip to Mongolia. I'd like to advise you that all the solutions that we have identified, not only be for a trip for getting to Mongolia, but let those solutions exist in our hearts, because we're actually fighting about the survival of our life. If we don't stand up together, stand up for what we are supposed to have, we are going to die, because no animals, no our lives.